Yes, we are back. This is Court in Session with the gang. This is Alan Pinder, the Belgian Scout, Keelan Phillips, the Avenger Only One, and me, El. Now, this is our fifth season. It may not look like it, but it is our fifth season. We had a historic session, what we say, historic session with the Bear. We were online live at the Gym, where we had the finals, and a team named Bulls won that final. But we were able to broadcast live and was able to at halftime give our talk about our NBA stuff. But tonight, what we want to just give you a preview of what's going to happen for the whole season. Firstly, what we want to say is that you have to tune in because we will have some prizes being given away. It may be a prize it may be the season tickets for the final of the Bear Championship. So stay tuned for that one. We'll go as we go along. We will have 1 or 2 little prizes coming on, and it will be based mainly on which episode you watch. And the first entry, we will just draw and we'll give you a prize for watching Court in Session. And first thing out the back, Keelan, Hassan Ward. He actually signed an Exhibit 10 contract with an NBA team, actually the Celtics.
Yeah.
I think that is significant for Barbados basketball.
Yep.
He would have been in Barbados. He would not have been a person that left when he was 3.
Mm-hmm.
He played basketball in Barbados up until I think he left in 3rd form or something like that.
Yeah.
At Lester Vaughan.
Yeah.
And then he went to, I think, Springfield High School. And after that he was recruited by VCU.
Mm-hmm.
And then he left VCU and went into the portal and went with Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is signing he signed an Exhibit 10 contract with the Boston Celtics.
Okay. Yeah, thought that was thought that is very obviously for Barbados. Also played in the summer league for the Kings, I believe. Yeah, I think it was summer league for the Kings. Yeah, him playing for the Celtics. One Zaire probably very happy that that I have a Bajan and is on his team.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hopefully it can turn into something more. Maybe a much bigger contract. Maybe even if it's with Celtics, whichever team. So I'm hoping that he stays for as long as he possibly can.
Yes, I think that is something good for our basketball and to show the youngsters that this is a guy that came up through our school system, and he went to secondary school in Barbados and he got the opportunity overseas. And
I think the first Bajan to sign an NBA contract technically, right? So
yeah, technically.
Yeah, major. I mean, he's going to be in the G League. The Celtics signed him to that because they obviously see some promise with him, and they're going to be monitoring him in G League over the year. So hopefully he can keep it up, he can keep on putting that work in, and
correct.
He can impress him enough that he can get another invite the next year and continue to develop and turn into a guaranteed deal.
Yeah, that would be significant for Barbados basketball. I am really proud of him. I think all of Barbados should be, happy. I am also happy for not only for Hassan, but I am also happy for Barbados basketball, because we've been struggling a bit, and especially through COVID. But there's a silver lining on every cloud, and we have found the silver lining in Hassan Ward. Right, so we'll dovetail straight into the NBA season. Yes. We've been over the last couple of weeks, been hearing about a number of teams who made some real well, they made some splashes in the free agency market. So let's start with the East. Who do you think will dethrone the Celtics in the East there, Alan?
Don't know if anyone is going to dethrone the Celtics. Celtics still look like the best team in the East right now, but we were seeing the same thing about the Nuggets last year, so long season, anything can happen. But right now, yeah, I like the Knicks if they can stay healthy. I kind of like the Sixers as well if they can stay healthy. But those are two teams that have some serious health concerns. But I like the firepower and the defense on both of those teams that could potentially challenge the Celtics. I thought the Knicks could have challenged the Celtics last year if they had stayed healthy, but they brought on pretty badly against Indiana. So I think those are probably your top two challenges for them in the East right now.
Yeah, well, Keelan, you think that I noticed you didn't mention Milwaukee, so Milwaukee.
Not by accident. Don't forget.
Yeah, I have some notes here. Knicks and 76ers were kind of at the top of a question I have if they were which one is the true number one contender. But as Alan pointed out, health is a big issue for them, especially for the 76ers. Joanna B, load management. He says he's no longer playing any back-to-backs. If you picked him up in fantasy, make condolences, because as great as he is as a player in fantasy, it means that you're missing about 15 games, because they got about 15 back-to-back. So he ain't playing that. I think for some of the other teams though, I think minimum. the younger teams like Magic and Pacers, I think their improvement will come from internal. Magic added KCP. He will help with their shooting because their 3-point shooting last year was near the bottom of the league. Pacers, they had a good run last year. It's up to them to prove that it wasn't a fluke. I think a full year of Siakam would really help too, because they kind of got him at the trade deadline last year. The two other teams that are kind of forgotten teams are, I pair the Heat and the Bucks, because with the Heat, are we at the stage now where it's like, all right, we definitely running them off, and then it's like they just appear out of nowhere again. And then the Bucks, I mean, any team with Giannis and them can make noise, but their problem has been injuries as well. Full year of Doc could either be good or bad. We don't know yet. We don't know. We don't know if a full year of Doc will be good or bad yet. We ain't too sure. There's all go.
We had a half year of Doc, and it didn't look that great even before the injury. So I don't know.
Yeah, so a full year
or do we know?
Exactly, as a full year dog, it'd be a good thing or a bad thing. I really do.
I don't share.
I'm leaning toward bad.
No, I don't have any enthusiasm. I think it could be. I don't think.
I think Doc is a very lucky dude.
Yeah, he has coached a lot of Hall of Famers. And the last team that I don't think much people are really talking about, I don't think they're a true contender, but I don't think they're bad yet, is the Cavs, right? The Cavs is one of those teams like I feel like they have a second round ceiling, but they could upset one of the Knicks or 76ers, possibly. Like Donovan Mitchell always plays well in the playoffs, so he could upset one of those teams, but I still got the Celtics as the favorites to at least get out of these.
Yeah, funny enough, you mentioned that because Joe Mazzulla mentioned that Indiana gave the Celtics the toughest run last year in the playoffs. But I think before Donovan Mitchell went down, I thought the Cavs were actually kind of poised to really give the Celtics, put the Celtics under some pressure. Yeah. And I mean, Allen was also injured too, so. Yeah, I think the Cavs are a little bit slept on as well too. I think they could sneak in and be a top 4 team potentially. Yeah. I still think they need to do something about that big man rotation, because I don't think it's ideal with them with Allen and Mobley. I think they still do something like that to get that organized. I don't think you can really maximize both of them playing them together. Reminds me of
Yeah,
Reminds you of Sabonis and Turner,
yeah.
from a couple years ago, right? You had to really break out those guys for either one to really shine. So
Which is funny because ideally you would think that Sabonis and Turner would work a little bit better because Turner can space the floor.
yeah,
And like he can space the floor a lot better than Evan Mobley. Like I think they've been
yep.
begging down for Evan Mobley to actually shoot the ball more so that it opens it up even more. But yeah, Cavs is just one of those matchup problem teams. Like they might not be better than the other team, but matchup wise, they could just really cause problems in the playoff. Yeah.
I think Magic still need to do a bit more, need to add a bit more scoring. KCP will
Yeah.
help with the 3-point shooting, but I don't think that's really enough. We'll see how the guys develop in turn, but I think they need a lot more in the scoring and shooting front still to really
Yeah.
progress more.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the East. What about the West? Because I've been watching some games out West. I've noticed some things, and I will see what you all think about it. First, do you think that how do you look at the Nuggets? Do you think Nuggets will return to like top two? How do you see Nuggets? And who do you think will come out the West?
I am. You want to go first, Alan? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Um, I don't know. I am with the never counting out the Nuggets once they have you. Okay, I don't know. I yes, they lost KCP. Is that a big deal? Yes, right? It is a big deal, right? I'm not going to sit down and say that they aren't. But that main four is still very, very good. That star Helena, it can still be very, very good. They may be hopefully relying on what's his name, Christian Braun, to really take a step in terms of his shooting offensively to offset KCP's loss. But I think he might actually be equal at this point defensively. I think the biggest problem is going to be KCP's shooting, not necessarily the defense. I think the defense, they're going to stay the same. I actually like the Russell Westbrook addition, right? It might sound crazy, but you can't think of Russell Westbrook in 2024 as a star. I just think he's in the right situation. He could around the right players could be a good role player. So that's all he is at this point. He's a good role player. Also, I know Alan is face thing, right? A limited doses. He could help you. Limited doses. But who's coming out the West? I don't know because I think the only team that was really built to beat the Nuggets really was the Wolves, right? And I don't think the Wolves. I think the Wolves are actually going to take a step back this year. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Julius Randle fan, especially in. I think it worked because Cat is like literally one of the best like shooting big men of all time. Like he's literally like numbers state that he's actually one of the best shooting, especially from three, right? And I think that helps with Rudy's limited offensive game. I think Julius doesn't space the floor as well. I know we talked about Cat in the playoffs at times being inconsistent. Randall might be worse. So it's gonna take some heavy lifting from Ant to really push them back. But I think that there are slightly below the Nuggets, OKC, and Mavs for them that top tier in terms of contenders.
So
Yeah.
I noticed they didn't really mention the Mavs really. They had
No,
a
I
big
mentioned Mavs.
season signing.
No, I mentioned the Mavs already just. I think the
Oh.
Mavs, OKC, and Nuggets are in the same tier as in the top. I think the Wolves are slightly behind them. So
Yeah, well, yeah, I have Nuggets a little further, but I don't think they're going to be a top two team this year. I think they've lost too much. I think they managed to survive Bruce Bowen last year a bit. Bruce Brown, sorry. And I think KCP is going to be too much. Russ is going to give them some help in terms of a slasher that they don't already have and they need on your roster, but they need shooting and Russ isn't going to help with the ball you shooting at all. So and Murray does not seem to be fully recovered from his knee issues right now. They need Murray and Michael Porter Jr. to play at higher levels to compensate for what they've lost. And yeah, seeing how Murray looked at the end of last year's playoffs, how he looked at the Olympics, doesn't look quite ready. I think Malone said that Murray's knee said it felt funny right now. So I'm not very optimistic on the Nuggets this season right now. I think the Thunder are the clear number one team right now. I mean, I think they were number one seed last year. They only got better with the addition of Caruso. And they
also got
Harden as well.
Yeah, Harden.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be injured. I think for the first 3 weeks. So I think he had an injury in his hand too. So, but I think they can sustain that pretty well. So he's just really gonna come in to be a role player for the most part, anyhow. A very expensive role player, but I think Ogacy and the Mavs are probably the top two teams in the West. I'm a little more optimistic, but I like the move for Rondo. I think he's a more natural fit at power forward. They don't have the shooting like Catwell to give them next to Rudy, which you might like, but Rondo can still shoot. And he's more of a legitimate number two option, in my opinion, next to Ant versus, to me, Cat was a little hit or miss. And couldn't really, I think I trust Rondo a bit more to kind of demand his own shot. I think Rondo really slipped off when he had to be number one option. I think Rondo's efficiency probably holds up pretty well if he's playing off Ant, or even if he was still in New York playing off Brunson. I think he would have been pretty good as a number two option. So I think the Wolves can do pretty well. I think he might be better defensively as a four as well than Cat was as a four. So I think those are your top three in the West right now. But I guess you may have to keep an eye on the preseason champions, the Golden State Warriors. They went up. So
5-0.
6-0 actually.
6-0, yeah. One question I want to ask you, Anna. Do you think that the regular season matters as much for the Nuggets? Because I think that you might need Porter and Murray to be, as you said, a top two seed in terms of maybe home court or however. But in the playoffs, because that is where Murray, we always said that Murray elevates his game. So if he is healthier by the playoffs, let me just play devil's advocate. Would the regular season matter as much? And also, the reason why I liked Russ too is because when Murray had to go off and it was Reggie Jackson, right? I think last year Reggie Jackson was, really more not even hit or miss or miss for them. I think even if Russ is hit or miss, at least he will hit some, right? So I think that. So do you think that the regular season really doesn't matter as much for the Nuggets, though?
I do think it will. I agree. Russ is probably a better backup than Jackson at this stage. So I agree with you there. But I do think the regular season can matter. If they drop too many games, I think they can find themselves in a position like the Lakers and the Suns were last season, where they're close to that playing stage, and then they get a bad matchup in the first round. They got to go against a top 3 seed right off the bat, as opposed to be able to get maybe a slightly weaker and not maybe have to go through the gauntlet of the playing or play through the tape to end the season to make sure they don't avoid the playing.
Fair.
I think that can take a little bit of toll. So I do think regular season, guys normally say regular season will not just get the playoffs, but I think especially playing the extra games and how competitive it is in the West. Because you still got teams like the Lakers and
Kings, Suns, Pelicans.
So it's a bit of a dogfight down there in that 48 range anyhow. So I think the regular season matchup seeding would definitely help. So I think if they punt too many games later on, they could be in an undesirable position.
Yeah, West is pretty tough. Like even teams like
the West is really good, but there's something about this. I watched a couple of Warriors games, Their scrubs ain't that bad. I mean, some of the also runs weren't that bad
Yeah.
in the preseason. Also, I noticed Moody got a contract out of the preseason because he played really well in preseason. He get a 3-year contract or something like that, so he get some money off his rookie deal. So
Making us lucky, yeah.
yeah, I think if they could, if he and Kaminga could really improve to a level where it could be consistent, I think they will be in that 4 to 8 range. I would not count them out. When you have somebody that can shoot like Steph, you can't really count them out. Buddy Hield, he's not a replacement for Clay, but he shoot the ball down good. So so he falls right into what they like to do. So we'll see how they go. But I still feel for the West, they're really small. And this small ball thing is only work for us. I think I can't see you playing small ball an entire year. Small ball to me works best like in a playoff situation or a second half or a quarter. But to play a whole season small ball, I don't think, to me, that is not a thing. So to me, the still too small. And I think they'll get some hand after people get to understand exactly what they do, so they'll hold some legs. But I think between the 4 and the 8, they should be fine. A team though that I will be watching will be the Pelicans. Because the Pelicans strange club.
Yeah.
I mean, they look to me, they are better than how they play. Right? And so I want to see if they can put everything together this year.
Think they're underachieving?
Funny enough, I think they're starting. If you want to see weird basketball, watch the Pelicans. Honestly, I think they're doing some maybe starting Herb Jones at center at 6'7". Like, I think like their center is Herb Jones at 6'7", Zion at 6'6", and just having just a bunch of weird lineups. Yeah, that's gonna be fairly interesting. But just one last team that I will say that we should maybe watch out for: Grizzlies, Jazz back. Never know.
Okay. Yeah, they could be interesting as well. But I really thought that Lakers made a real good pick in the draft by picking Bronny James. Really, I think that.
What would you do that? What would you do that? I thought you were serious, right? I thought you were actually gonna talk about Connect. No, he's not. No, he can actually be very useful.
Yeah, he could be useful. I think Bronny could be useful too. I think Bronny will be able to, the Lakers will have a lot of followers on Instagram and
what would you do that?
The other social media networks. But
they already have a lot of followers. They don't need more followers.
I think he can raise the level of followers.
I think Terry was more so going from the school of Magic Johnson, and going based on his analysis. I mean, he says Bronny's showing things you just can't teach with the athleticism and the basketball IQ. So I think coach should see the same things that Magic is seeing in the Hall of Famer, right? So
Magic Johnson has the greatest Twitter.
Just so we're clear,
says whatever he sees, like the sky is blue.
Just so we're clear, though. That statement was said in jest. No, with any seriousness there. This is not a magic moment. Well, we're here. We're here, our 5th season. But of course, we cannot leave unless we do our pick 5. Well, the season starts tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So here we go with pick 5. The first out the gate, we have New York at Boston. Don't you all just say it at once?
I can go Celtics.
I
thought you safe bet.
I taking the Celtics.
Celtics too? I'm going to go outside the box and say there's a ring ceremony hangover, so I'm going to go with the Knicks.
Okay.
Everything's happening with the ring ceremony night sometimes. So.
Yeah, just really want to hit or miss games. Yeah, never know.
Then on Wednesday we have Brooklyn at Atlanta.
Yeah, mid off.
Scrub.
Mid off. I give it the Hawks.
Give me the Hawks.
Yeah.
What about you, Alan?
Yeah, the Hawks though. Yeah.
Cam the average about 30 this year. 30 shots.
62, y'all going with the Hawks. I go with Brooklyn. On Thursday, Minnesota at Sacramento. No, that's a good one.
I go Soda.
You're going to sit Minnesota.
I go with whatever team the Rosen is on. So let me go with Three Kings. Let's go.
These 3 Kings. I think over the Kings too.
Yeah, let's go.
On Friday, Memphis at Houston.
Mm. Mm.
I go the whole team Houston.
You going Houston?
Okay.
Okay, I'll
Home
go
team
with
Houston.
Houston. What about you, Kayline?
I go with the Grizzlies. We see my boy Ja back again.
All right, I can go with the Grizzlies too. I didn't know much about the Houston, so I'll go the Grizzlies. And on Saturday, the final of the Pick 5, OKC at Chicago.
Oh Lord, OKC. OKC. Whoa.
What about you, Alan?
And I think Josh Giddey will be looking for revenge against his old team, but yeah, the Bulls are still OKC.
Betty over on a Josh Giddey triple-double.
All right. Well, I will go OKC as well. I don't think that Chicago really I don't think they are really ready for this season. I don't think they're ready for the last couple of seasons.
One of me, Alan, gonna have a really good week because we pay off on a lot of it. One of me, gonna have a good week. One gonna have a bad week.
Okay, so you see that is court in session, and for right now, the court is adjourned.